All right, here we are, Friday morning. Woo, woo.
Woo!
You like Friday mornings, right? Happy Friday. Hope yesterday was awesome. Hope
Friday.
tomorrow's twice as good. We're going to talk about how to win today. Now, I love Fridays, right? I love every day. But I was thinking about it last night, maybe even this morning. I can't remember. But what are we going to do today? It's Friday. What are we going to do? How are we going to get it going? How do you get charged up? My battery is a little low right now. How do I get this thing going? And I just started thinking, do not. Oh, here it is. It kind of reminded me, when you want to watch a movie, but you don't know what movie, so you just kind of start scrolling. You end up not watching anything. It's like, right? Or you want to go get something to eat, but you're not really dying to eat, so you're not really sure where to go. So you end up, not even going. Listening to music. What do you want to hear on a road trip? What do you want to hear? I don't care. And you end up doing nothing, right? That's kind of where I think a lot of people, they just show up at the office to see what happens. Let's just see how the day goes. We'll just ride whatever wave shows up. And started thinking about that and said, you know what? That's not cool. We talk about that all the time, but you really want to be a captain of your own ship. Because I've known that the things I enjoy most. Now, then there are times where you just let it go and you end up where you end up, right? And you go, oh, that was an unexpected, cool thing. But most of the time, you end up wandering aimlessly. And nobody goes, you know what? I wandered aimlessly and it was great. Sometimes it is, but most of the time it's not. It's when you have a set plan and you go out and you do it, is when really good things happen and consistently good things happen to you. Okay, so be the captain of your ship. And here's what you're going to do. Just create a simple, easy goal. We talk about this every Friday, but this is an everyday thing. You should have a goal, something you're trying to get done that's going to move you forward towards your annual goal, which is towards your career goals, whatever. Something that's going to move you forward, that's going to give you confidence, excitement, motivation, all those things. You got to do it. Right? Create a goal. We'll talk about that here in a second. And then once you have that little goal or big goal, whatever goal it is, you create a simple, doable plan to achieve that goal. All right. Don't go too crazy here with all kinds of, well, this has to happen. And when that happens, 3 other things are going to kick in and it's all going to be great. All right. Keep it simple, keep it doable, because hard and complex doesn't get done. All right. So there it is. Create a goal for the day, create a plan to achieve that goal. And here's the hard part. You got to do it. Right? You got to show up and you got to do it. Right? Your plan was going to join the gym, right? Or your goal is to get stronger, lose weight, and healthier. So your plan is to join the gym and go 3 days a week or every other day. And then you don't. All right? Or you do 2 or 3 times. That's not good, right? You got to do it. You got to do it. All right. So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to give you an example because everybody's got these things, right? When I fall back on anything from a sales standpoint, real estate sales especially, right? My goal is to set one qualified listing appointment. All right. I want not one listing appointment, right? That's somebody who might do something somewhere along the way, maybe. One qualified listing appointment. This is beat into my head by my coach, right? Long ago. It's got to be a qualified listing appointment. Somebody who's ready, willing, and able to list their property. Okay. At some time. That sometime is not somewhere in the future. It's on 8 days from tomorrow or whatever. That's a qualified listing appointment. That is my goal every single day. Okay. From that, you'll get buyers, you'll get leads, you'll get future things. But the goal is to set one qualified listing appointment. Okay. The plan then becomes, I like to call on the telephone. I'm a call on the telephone. Some people like to door knock. Some people like open houses. Some people like skywriting with airplanes. Whatever your thing is yours. Go for it. But so my plan is always, I'm going to talk to 20 people, minimum 20 people every day about their plans for real estate. Okay. And the script, we've done it here 1,000 times. So easy. Hey, it's John Moran, Keller Williams Realty's at the Beach Team here in Destin. How are you? Good. I'm great too. Love you. Oh my God, this is awesome. You know what? We just listed another house, condo, land in your neighborhood. This one's at 1234 Main Street, 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 1,800 square feet. We're on the market for 790,000. It's just curious. Who do you know that might be interested in living in your neighborhood? No one, right? Someone, whatever. Help the ones that need right now help. Help the ones that need future help by putting them in a follow-up program. Now I'm going to adjust this right now because we have news. The Fed lowered the rate by 0.5 point, the federal funds rate. Does that impact mortgage rates? Maybe. Not directly, but indirectly, maybe. Is it already baked in? Probably. All that stuff. But who cares? This is news. It's big news. It's everywhere news. So, hey, it's John Moran, Keller Williams Realty's At the Beach team. Did you happen to see the Fed lowered the rate for the federal funds rate? Yes, no, maybe. Awesome. Well, my hope is this is going to lower mortgage rates. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I don't know. But curious, what are your plans for real estate in the next 12 months? If you were to sell, where would you go next? Would you cash out? Would you reinvest? When would that be? Okay, you with me on this, people? Mm-hmm. I use that. Maybe I'll post it somewhere. If after this I can post it. I mean, it's just a simple thing. It's news. Fed lowered the rate. Did you see that? Cool. Hopefully it lowers mortgage rates. Awesome. Hey, you know what? I got you on the phone. Curious. What are your plans? And then off you go. Right? It's so easy. It's so easy. All right. So there you go. So I'm going to talk to 20 people. I'm going to use that script. All right. Here's another one. Maybe the plan is to call everybody in your phone. Hey, Joe, John. Hey, real quick, I'm at work. Okay, let's set it. Hey, we're not going to the ball game. We're not talking about chicks. We're not whatever. Joe, John, hey, I'm at work. Quick question. What are your plans for real estate next 12 months? Well, no plans. Perfect. Who do you know that might have some plans? Nobody. Okay, cool. Thanks for thinking about it. Appreciate you. Real quick, did you see the Bears? Then you can get into it if you want. But even then, I wouldn't even do that because you are on a freaking mission. You're the captain of your own darn ship. Talk to them afterwards, after you get your 20, after you get their one qualified listing appointment, right? That's the way I would do it, okay? And then I would do it and do it and do it and do it. So I was done. You do that every day, people. I absolutely promise you, over time, you're going to make your dreams. You're going to need bigger dreams. You're going to need a bigger bank. Yeah. That's the way it is, right? All right, Mark, what do you got on that?
Yeah, I like to seed a referral, and what I do is just say, hey, look, here's what I know for a fact. You're going to come across 13 people in the next 12 months that have a real estate need, buying, selling, or investing. And when that happens, I want you to connect them with me. Now, here's the thing. I'm not expecting all 13, but in the next 2 months, would you focus and find one of them and introduce them to me? Let me interview.
What if you did this, right? People buy leads all the time. Dude,
yeah.
You're going to come in at 13 people. Love it. Would you do me a favor? Would you send them my way? Would you help me? Would you point them? Matter of fact, for every one you do, I'll give you $50, $20, $5.
Yeah.
$1 million. I don't know, something. Would that work?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Give them something. Give them a gift card. Go buy a bunch of those gift cards. For every $100 you spend here at this restaurant you go to all the time, you get a free $100 or whatever, how those works. I used to have a friend. He'd get these cards that gave rewards, and he'd always pay. Now you paid him, and they'd all go out for dinner, right? And yeah. He's like, here, I'll pay. You pay me, and I'll pay it, right? So he gets his $1,000 bill, and he collects $100 from all these people. But figure out a way to make it work for you. I love that, Mark. I love it.
So I've got a text in my hot links, if you will, already put in there. It's, when you put in your on my way or what have you, but I saved it as DDD and it auto populates and it just says, hey, here's the thing. People move around life events. I'm going to send you a text, things to look out for. And it just says, here are the 7 Ds to keep an eye out for when thinking of who you will refer to me. Diamonds, recently married, diapers, growing family, diploma, recent grad, deployment, divorce, downsizing, kids have moved out, death, they have a need to sell an inherited property. Look for these things because they usually signal an upcoming real estate need. Thanks, Mark. Boom.
I'm telling you, put a little spiff in there. You send somebody my way, I'll give you $25.
There you go.
Because it's really not even about the money. If they get something, it can be $5.
Yeah.
I was gonna make a political joke, but I'm not. All right. Destiny, what do you got?
I think, there's so many different ways to get creative with that. I recently, just yesterday, I posted my open house on Facebook and just asked the question, if you share my post, I'll enter you in for a drawing for pizza. I got 20 shares. Never had that before in my life. And so people were excited. We did a drawing and, giving away a free pizza and pop. Cost maybe 25, 30 bucks, but it's spreading that business and then bringing that return in, and even going into local businesses and doing the same. Hey, I'm going to provide this barbershop with the refreshments for your guests. Let me put my flyer up in a QR code so that I can get some business coming in. So providing value to people will make them want to provide business and assistance to you.
Love it. So smart. Julie, what do you got?
I would say just set goals that aren't so easy. But if you're having a hard day, if you know you're going to be really busy, if it's just not the best, set a small goal. So, don't say I'm going to run a marathon. Say I'm going to run for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not a numbers goal. It's
the annual goal needs to be big, or the career goal needs to be huge. But
right.
But
the daily is the consistent habit, so that you stay on track, so that you can count your success. So sometimes, whether it's a physical thing or a goal for your business, it's measured in time, not the number of calls, the number of miles, the number of connections, the number of appointments. Yes, ultimately we want all those things, but sometimes you might say, I don't have enough time. I'm traveling. I'm catching a flight at 4:00. I'm going to get there. I'm going to do, and you'll make all kinds of excuses. So just say, I've got 20 minutes. Anyone can do something for 20 minutes. And just say, I can't run because I don't want to get sweaty. Okay. Walk for 20 minutes. Whatever that thing is set a goal, because use 20 minutes. I'm going to do that thing for 20 minutes. So then at least you have a success you're moving closer to rather than further from your goal.
Love it.
Hey, John, Maria from Chicago, she posted, I don't know why it's not showing up on the screen, but it says the 20 people a day does work. Back in 1994, Walgreens gave me tons of business. By grabbing 20 business cards in the morning and go pass them out at Walgreens Monday through Friday, I ended up having 20 plus listings.
Nice.
I believe it. You know what? I've been doing it. Thank you, Maria. That's super cool. I've been doing this for 20 years. Sold a lot of properties. It works. We have our meetings every Tuesday, our team meetings, and I have new kids on our team, and I have old established veterans. And I often ask the old established veterans, does this work? And one guy, John Skinner, sold 1 million properties. He says, the only way it doesn't work is if you don't do it, right? If you're talking to people, you can be horrible. I remember Mike Ferry, I've told this here before too. He used to tell us, just go knock on the door. When they answer the door, you give them your thing, right? And if your thing is just to throw up all over them, if you knock on enough doors, you're going to run into somebody and say, you know what? Novel approach. Come on in, right?
Yeah.
I don't recommend that. But the fact of the matter is, if you talk to enough people, you are going to get business. You just, even if you absolutely, you can knock, hey, you don't want to list your property with me, do you? I knew it, right? But eventually somebody say, no, I do. I want you to sell my property. If you talk to enough, okay? Now don't do that. Be better than that. But my point is, you talk to enough people, it absolutely works. Promise.
John, here's the thing is, and I wouldn't make this my only strategy by any means, but it's something that could easily be done. Most realtors have a box of business cards that's full. And if they just said, I will not quit, I every day pull out 20 business cards and say, my day's not done until I pass out 20 business cards. It's not the most efficient, but I'm telling you, you bump into somebody at the gas station, you hand it to the person at the checkout counter, you're standing in line. If you continually pass those out and say, my goal is to get rid of 500 business cards a month and buy new cards every month, and they're cheap, 20 bucks. You will get business. The problem is they've got a stack of business cards, a box of them they're full.
What if you combine that with going, like we talk about, to a business every day, 5 businesses every day, meet the manager, Give them your card. Tell them who you are, what you are. You're a realtor. You want to help them with their business because you think it's going to help with your business. Give them your card.
Mm-hmm.
If you do it one time, probably not going to work out. 2, 10, you do that consistently over a course of a year or two, you're going to build an army.
Yeah.
I think that's important though, John, is it takes time. You did that post yesterday and I loved that one because it takes time. And I think we get weary after it doesn't work the first and second call, or the first week we don't get any appointments. It takes time and you have to stay consistent and stick with it. It'll happen.
So what Destiny's talking about, I think it was Maria up in Chicago, said she's struggling. She's been making these calls, but not getting the results. She's not getting the appointment. She's making the calls for weeks.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And she's wondering, do I keep going with the cold calls, the lead gen, all that stuff, or do I hire some team of lead gen experts? All right. And you can hire those lead gen experts, but remember, every lead they get, they're selling that to 50 people. So all you're doing is just moving some things around. Personally, I think you should grind, work on getting better at your scripts. Go preview properties so you know what you're talking about better. Study the market trends so you know what you're talking about better. And your conversations will be better. And therefore, your results will also be better. Okay? Shortcut is to hire somebody. Shortcuts usually get the shortcut result, though. Be careful.
Well, and here's the other thing about the shortcut. The shortcut is whoever you hire, unless it's a virtual assistant outside of your area, if it's a realtor, and they recognize the power of the appointments, pretty soon they're just doing it. They're not doing it for you anymore. So get better. And the more you do it, you naturally get better. It's like shooting, playing horse. Eventually you start having more swishes.
Yeah. You might not end up in the NBA, but you can certainly play a game of horse for sure. Right? You don't need to be in the NBA. Most people aren't. You just need to be better than most, and most people don't do anything.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So,
John, I just pulled up on Got Print, 500 business cards, get to you in 2 to 4 business days, $24. The thing is if you got into that rhythm of passing those cards out, 20, I'm gonna knock these out every month. But the conversation is, hey, I'm a local realtor. Do you have any upcoming real estate needs? And you're doing that. I'm telling you, the compound effect of that over time.
I would go to every single restaurant in town. They all have those bulletin boards where you pin your business card on them, right?
Yeah.
But don't just slide in there under the cover of darkness or when they're all busy and slip your card onto that thing. Go in there, ask for the manager, ask them if you can tell them who you are, what you do, you're a realtor. I love helping folks around here. Would it be all right if I put my card up on your bulletin board? And by the way, is there anything I can do to help you? You guys, any specials or something you want me to tell my people about, have them come in here? And if you go in there every month on the Tuesday or whatever, make it routine, or every other week or every week, eventually they're going to know who you are and you're going to own that mind space. In the manager's head, in the server's heads, in everybody's head in there. Because I guarantee you there are people that go into local restaurants that are getting ready to buy, sell, or something. Mm-hmm. They're never, ever going to look at that bulletin board. But they may just ask, the waiter, waitress, manager or something, or they might overhear and say, there's a guy who comes in here every week. You might want to give him a call. I think he's pretty good.
The other thing about that is when you are talking to businesses and they actually have something, hey, if you send someone in here, give them this code, fight, and you'll get 20% off or something like that.
Yeah.
You have something of value to offer to people. And it's something that you can do, as a post, as an email, one time I had someone who made wedding cakes, but it wasn't just wedding cakes, and she wanted to expand her business. She wanted to get, more birthday cakes and celebratory cakes and graduation cakes and whatever. And she gave me like this 50% off. And I put it, this is back when we did newsletters, as a little coupon in a newsletter. And a bunch of people went in and got cakes, and it grew her business. She became an advocate for me.
Love it.
Let
me ask you guys this. What if your plan right? You got a goal. You want to talk to 20 people. You want to set one qualified listing appointment. The way you're going to do it is talk to 20 people. And what if your plan is to talk to the managers of all the storage facilities, the managers of all the moving companies, the landscaper, the painters, anybody who gets involved with somebody who's getting ready to move, right? And you talk to them once a week and you gave them business because you're going to run in. Somebody's going to say, hey, do you know a good storage place? I got one. I got two. Or, hey, do you know a painter? I got one. Do you have a landscaper? Yeah, right? Go to, but it's the consistency over and over again. You do that.
John, part of that, like with the moving companies and such, is you've got to teach them. My daughter, who's a professional photographer, her number one, and she does infant or children photography. Her number one referral source back in Memphis was a handyman who did reconstruction and updates. And she said, hey, do you ever walk into a person's home and see a bunch of children running around? All the time. When you look on the wall, do you notice the absence of pictures? All the time. Here's what I want you to say to them. Hey, you got beautiful kids, and I see this wall over here. I think you ought to capture those pictures because these kids are adorable. And I've got a friend who does amazing photography. You need to talk to Kate.
Yeah.
That guy, because she sent him business, but she taught him how to refer. And she said, my number one referral source was the guy that would do renovations.
All right. So let's bring this back around. You're going to win the day. Here's how you're going to win the day. You're going to create a goal, right? You're going to create a simple plan to achieve that goal. And then you're going to do it and do it and do it and do it. And I'm telling you, there is a million ways you can get business. Find one and go do it.
Yeah.
What do you got? Guys, Mark, you have the last word here. What are you saying?
Hey, simple disciplines repeated over time compound into massive results.
Love it. Destiny, what do you got?
I have nothing. I think that's great.
Julie?
Serve. When you go into businesses, ask them who are your top clients, who are you trying to reach? How can I help them get to you? And when you figure out what they need and you deliver it, you'll be rewarded. Love it.
Mm-hmm. All right. So real quick, win the day. You're going to be the captain of your own ship. Do not let the day unfold. You're going to steer this thing. Okay. Create a daily goal, right? Create a daily goal that you can do. That's how you're going to be the captain. Create a simple plan to achieve that goal and do it and do it and do it. That's how you're going to win the day. Let's go. See you all on Monday. Have a great weekend, right? Oh, we just talked about this. What we do. All right. See you Monday.
Bye.
Bye-bye.